Hey everybody, welcome to MSB Flight. This is my first video on the channel. I'm brand new into flying. I haven't actually flown an RC plane before. So what I did is I went and bought electronics. So I've got a radio and receiver. I bought a kit with the propeller and ESC and the motor and the servos. This was like $25 on Amazon. I'll link everything in the description below. I also bought some push rods and tabs to secure them. And I've got Foamboard from the dollar store. I looked on Amazon. I'll put a link to the Amazon one just in case you don't have access to anything in your area. But pick this stuff up at like Walmart or a craft store, or I went to a Dollar Tree. I think Dollar General sells them also. At Dollar Tree, they were like $1.25 a sheet. I'm gonna build my first ever RC plane, and let's see how it goes. I've watched a lot of videos on how to build an RC plane at a foam board, and I really want to give it a go. I have calipers, but I also have a yardstick and my foam board. This is a black piece of foam board because I thought it was cool. So I'm going to make the wings out of the black foam board. I'm going to make the fuselage out of white. And I've looked at proportions to build a wing. The wing is only going to be as long as this. I think it's, well, I got a measuring tool. Yeah, it's almost 30 inches. So basically I need to build an airfoil. I'm going to just put a mark here with my caliper, a mark down here with my caliper. Actually, that's how wide I want the spar, but I want it to be doubled over. Can you guys tell I've never cut foam board before? It's there to provide a little more strength, but mostly the spacing for the airfoil. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm gonna get some hot glue in here. Now I just put a little bit of glue in different spots along this spar because it's gonna get sandwiched anyway. Some people will run the glue all the way down. I just realized I only have one glue stick left, so we're gonna have to go to the store. Now for the wing itself, I need to figure out how deep I actually wanna cut it, because I want it to have a lot of lift. If I make the wing 8 inches and I've only got 19.5 inches on here, well, a little over 19 inches, that would give me enough space to fold it over and have the top of the wing curve. So let's go 8 inches. We'll put some marks on here. And there. What I want to do is cut some more. Whoops. I may have cut one of these through a little far, which is not the end of the world. I got some packing tape on it. So what I'm going to do is fold this one open, and then we're going to cut a 45-degree bevel on here so that I can fold it over. It's not perfect, but it should give me enough. And it's not. So now I'm going to cut another 45-degree bevel on the other side. All right, so you can see, because of the black foam, this is very helpful. I've got these lines which came all the way through, which is bad news bears. So I'm gonna stop on this piece, and I can utilize the big parts for the tail and the fuselage probably. And I'm gonna try again. Okay, let's see what this airfoil looks like. That's not bad for my first one. Check that out. Grab my spar, and I want that to be at the highest point of this airfoil. Just checking out the wing. Actually, as good as I was hoping, but not as nice as I'd expect. So the fuselage is going to be a little bit tricky. I want a pusher prop, so when I crash it, because that will happen, the motor and the prop don't explode on me. This will go here. This will be the front, so I'll have my cockpit, if you will, up here. The wing will be about here, the prop will be there, and then the fuselage has to cut down and under the wing to go to the tail. We just crushed it so I can get it to curve, because I want this to be all one piece, and I'll probably put some packing tape on here also, just to create a more slippery surface when it lands. And that'll just fold up like that, and I'll get some thick paper and just create the face of it. I do need to create dihedral in the wing, which basically means that from the center, it's gonna go up on either side. On my way to the store to pick up some glue sticks, because I don't have any. And I thought I was to go to breakfast with my wife, but she is decided she would rather sleep for a little while longer. So keep working on this project. Well guys, if you're gonna go to Walmart Saturday morning at 8:30, this is the time to do it. There's like nobody here. I say like nobody. There's still probably 100 cars in the parking lot. So it seems like Walmart is the best place to get glue sticks. They are $2.94 for a pack of 30. I looked on a number of different places, and this is the cheapest glue stick you can get right now. Even on Amazon, it didn't seem like they were that cheap. Back in the car. Let's go finish a plane. Not a ton, but enough. And we'll open it up. And I'll put it right along this. Like so. Get this folded over. Hold it square while it dries. Cools. I guess technically it's cooling. The moisture content of the glue stays the same no matter what, whether it's hot or cold. And it stays almost like it was meant to. Now we're going on the other side. And I get my square in there. Just so you guys know, that was like a half a stick of glue I just put on that one joint. You're gonna need a lot of hot glue. I'm running out of glue. You know what? It's good enough for who it's for. And it's for me. And I say it's good enough. That's what the plane's gonna look like. I'm gonna get some glue in here. We'll do this little curve. And what I'm gonna do is just take it and bend it up onto its nose like that. Got a nice curve landing surface-ish. The main wing is going up here. There. So now when this goes on top, just to give you a visual, it'll hold like that, and the motor will sit right in here. So it's not gonna hit the wing. It's gonna be a short, fat plane. Maybe I'll build a more sleek, attractive plane next time. Now I'm going to move on to the tail section. So there is my tail fin and rudder. Hopefully that's big enough. What do you think? Is that enough? We'll find out. And if I don't like it, I can take it off, put a different one on. I'm gonna make it bigger. Is that too big? Yes. Yes, that is too big. I'll just cut it back here and it'll be fine. I just finished the tail section. I've got my control surface for my elevator, my rudder, and it's gonna go on the back of the plane like this. So my elevator can go down. It'll be just past the tail like that. Cut an angle here so when the elevator's up, the rudder still works, because that's important. Okay, now before I glue that on, I'm gonna think about my servos. I have 2 servos here and I've got 2 more that are gonna go on. One of them will control the rudder, the other one will control the elevator. I'm gonna put the glue on this because I know where I want it, and then it just lands there. No. It works, okay, good. And I'll need to build some sort of extension, which I have the parts to do that. If you don't have the parts to do that, I'll leave a link down below for extensions, servo extensions. They're very cheap on Amazon. Into there. It's beautiful. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to do the aileron control surfaces, and those servos will just get glued onto the bottom here. All right, now I'm going to put the dihedral in the wing. Yeah, don't build a dihedral wing this way. Like, go find somebody online who did a better job. Do it that way. I've got the power pod built, and as you can see, I put holes in it that will line up with the motor mount, and then a big hole here so I can run motor wires through there. The ESC and receiver will sit inside of this, and the battery I might put the battery in the bottom. We'll see where the battery goes. Check the CG and see how it flies. Battery could go up here because it'll be under the wings. Now, we're gonna take this, it's gonna slide it into the upper part, flush with the back, and then I'll need to cut this down. But before I do that, this is how we're holding the power pod in, is with our skewers. Push a skewer through, like so. This is also what the wings are going to attach to. Go like that. This one's way out of whack, but it doesn't even matter. So I'm going to do that for the front. I'm going to get the motor bolted on the back, throw the electronics inside, maybe just hot glue them in for now, and we'll check the CG and see where the battery needs to go.
And that's the end of my footage anyway. Once I got the plane together, I was so excited to go out and fly it for its first flight, and then I figured I would just get some shots of subsequent flights. But there was a problem. After crashing a plane over and over and over and over and over, it became unflyable. Not that it was flyable to begin with, because hence the crashing. The problem was I couldn't tell if it was my terrible building skills, because I hadn't built a plane before, my terrible flying skills, because I hadn't flown a plane before, or the fact that I didn't know where the CG really needed to be. I'd throw it, the tail would drop, and it would basically just stall right away. The best I ever got was it kind of hovering, and at one point it did get high enough to get stuck in a tree. Now, I've watched a lot of things fly that don't look like they should be able to fly, but when the CG is correct, it seems to work. And this plane was built and looked like it should be able to fly. So I'm assuming the CG was just way too far to the back. And being a new pilot, I don't know how to combat that. This was a really emotional experience, and it took me to a place that I didn't think that it would. Doing it alone was actually really helpful because there's no way I wanted anybody to see me in that kind of state that I was put in by crashing this plane that I put so much effort into. At best, it was very disappointing, and at worst, it was completely devastating. If there's one thing that flying or learning to fly has taught me, it's that you can't make decisions based on how you feel in the moment. You have to wait and understand that what you're feeling, though it may feel like reality, is not actually reality. It's a perception of reality. To be able to feel is amazing, and to fail is devastating. But to be able to overcome the devastation and have success might be the greatest feeling in the world. Anyway, this is the result of that crashing over and over and over and over again. Come back again for part 2. It might even be right here. Thanks for watching.